hey, I may be getting employed. Maybe I'm gonna get a job. Oh my god, it's finally happening. Rah, rah, rah. What's up, it's a Culture Detective here investigating your favorite albums, and today I'm going to be doing an album review on the new Vampire Weekend album, Only God Was Above Us. So, legendary New York indie rock band Vampire Weekend is back with a new album. They have been making music in the late 2000s and have been coming out with one banger album after another, and they are known for making smooth, lively rock music that is very exciting and very full of life while still having influences from literally every genre of music ever. So obviously their sound is very interesting, but after one of their key members, Rossum, has left the band, they went into a bit of a awkward position. In 2019, they released the album Father of the Bride, which I reviewed not too long after its release, and it was there were a lot of very drab and sometimes even annoying moments on the album. But even so, one of the lead singles of Father of the Bride still ended up being one of my favorite songs of that year. So obviously, there's still a lot of potential, there's still a lot of beauty in their music, and I still look forward to whatever they would put out next, which became Only God Was Above Us, where they continue to move towards a newer sound and style. The production on this album is turned up to 11. I have never heard Vampire Weekend's production this freaking thick and dense. Not only do we get amazing, youthful, lively vocals, but also we have these crazy pianos on top of drums and layers of keyboards and guitars, and sometimes there are horns and saxophones, and sometimes there are backup vocals. It's just so many layers of instrumentals going on in this album at once. Listening to this album really puts you in this world where you just hear a lot, and it just creates a soundscape that you just can't really get out of, and it's kind of fantastic. That being said, this album didn't blow my mind or anything. A lot of the tracks on this album still pretty much remain within the milieu that Vampire Weekend has created for themselves. And by that I mean their music sounds very clean and polished still at many times, like the album opener Ice Cream Piano with the fuzzy guitars and pianos. We have some interesting lyrics about authoritarianism and police state. What was that? I don't know. On top of some racing drums, distorted guitars, and an insanely colorful string section on this track, which is just bursting with energy. But the thing with this track is that it does feel a little one note. All of the instrumentals on the track and all the chords feed into this blast of blissful brightness that I just can't get out of for some reason. But I really enjoyed the next few tracks. Obviously, I really like the track Classical with the why is my hair being weird? I don't know. Anyways, the track Classical with the pounding drums, the bouncy, slick bass of the track, the reverby vocals, and the beautiful strings form a fantastic track. And then we have a killer saxophone solo near the end of the track, which is amazing. Capricorn is a slower track, but still really beautiful. I really love the interplay between soft and harsh sounds. We have reverby guitars being put against very harsh, glitchy chords, which makes this track sonically very interesting. And then my second favorite track on the entire album is the track Connect, with the very unhinged, detuned, sunburnt piano keys dancing very playfully on top of some really colorful bass. The track has so much fun with itself. It's so playful and unpredictable. Every single minute sounds different from the last minute in this 4-minute track. This track sounds like a Christmas song, but unhinged, out there, bold, and we have some interesting lyrics about emotional connection and disconnection as well, which makes this very interesting. Following that, we have Prep School Gangsters, which is a much more simple track. We have some charismatic bass and sticky chorus, which I really like, and the song tells a story of a protagonist facing some kind of great adversity, which ends up being a pretty cutesy story. On to the second half of the album, we enter a bit of a low point with the track The Surfer, which I think is pretty basic. For the band, the instrumentals run a little bit drab. Even so, it's still very textured and layered between icy keyboards and boom bap drums, but still, there's something really basic about the hooks on the track. I can say similar things to the next track, Gen X Cops, which I'm not a huge fan of, unfortunately. We have some wild lead guitars on top of a pretty formulaic indie rock drum beat, sunburnt guitars. Again, the production is awesome, very awesome production, and amazing musicianship, but not a lot in terms of hooks. It's just not that catchy. However, the last three tracks are definitely surprises. We have Mary Boone, which is easily, hands down, my favorite track on the entire album. We have some spellbinding, sprinkly pianos dancing around, and lyrics that are sort of lovesick and with a lot of yearning. I really like the line "Mary Boone, I hope you feel like loving someone soon," and then the song would just explode into these bright, sweet strings and chomping hand drums. It's truly magical. I feel like I'm in some kind of Disney movie. If that Disney movie was good, of course. And I love the grand choral vocals. It's actually amazing. Then we have the track Pravda, which means truth in Russian, but I really like the blissful guitar licks and the light cymbal clashes. It's just a really nice, endearing tune. Finally, the album ends off with the track Hope, which is an 8-minute track about letting go and moving on. We have some moody guitars and some rolling drums, and near the end of the track, we have some sweet and sour chord changes, and the guitars become more and more noisy and overwhelming, and it's a very neat way to end off the album. So yeah, overall, it's a really good album. It didn't blow my mind, and there are definitely some moments here and there that felt a little one note for me, but overall, this has got to be some of the best production and musicianship we'll be hearing all year. And I am giving the new Vampire Weekend album a strong 8 out of 10. So, have you listened to the new Vampire Weekend album? Comments below. Let me know, subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching.